Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook on Wednesday the 14th of February. Let's start off looking at the euro then, and made a decent retracement so far. Looks like it could still have some legs potentially from this daily chart here. Looking at the 4 hourlies at the moment though, it looks it's pitched up there. I was just wondering whether we'd have a bit of divergence there, but no divergence on the euro dollar. But he is making quite a nasty retracement as I speak. Now, no retracements at all there, just retracements, divergence. I was just looking on the hourly time frame to see if there's anything there, but not at the moment. Just a pure weakness going through this early these earlier sessions after that shove up. Now looking back in its got 21s as possible support. It'll be interesting to see how it finds support of those 21s. Maybe it won't come back for the daily pivot. If it breaks them, well, daily pivot almost looks like the obvious target for the initial move, and we'll see where it comes from that. But as I say, if it bounce off the 21, I'd look back to the double tops and maybe a continuation of that move to the upside. So moving to cable, the pound dollar. Pound dollar's run back into its daily 8. It's having a bit of a struggle with that. It ran into it yesterday. It's pushed back into it again today. It has just broken through. What I've drawn on here is it's a 4 hourly trend line that was sitting there, has broken and closed above that, but just coming back and testing the lower part of that now. Whether it will just push through back towards the 4 hourly 21s is again, and 60 minute 21s may just provide some support around those sort of areas. As I say, it did close out of that area. It's just struggling at the moment. And we've seen this sort of choppy price action. Maybe we'll see it again today. We just need maybe a bit of time to see which way it goes. My preference is still to the upside, maybe on both the euro and the pound, but the pound is struggling much more than the euro. Dollar yen. So looking at dailies here, well, it's continued this morning through down, putting in a new near-term low. That's, I would say, near-term low. It's quite a few days since we've seen anything like that. Let's just go out to the weeklies. Yeah, it's broken the lows back from September 2017 there. It just pipped through those. So it has broken those lows eventually. But what have we got here? Yep, some divergence on that 4 hourly. So that actually has the divergence as opposed to the euro, which hasn't. So maybe we'll see a bit more of a correction. But just looking again to the 60-21s, it'll be interesting to see the reaction. So they have been hit before. Whether it stops on it, reverses. If it breaks through that area again, maybe we'll see the daily pivot hit, but there is still quite a strong downward trend at the moment. Okay, Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar having a bounce as well. Already had a bit of, again, a decent move, but short-term retracing, no divergence, but very much like the euro here. Similar move in terms of its price action. But no divergence, but weakness suddenly coming through the last 4 hours or so. Already hit the daily pivot again. May find support on 21, so it's a pretty similar picture throughout these markets. If it finds the support there, well, we could be looking for longs, but just need to watch that reaction. Now finally the Canadian dollar. What a surprise, it's barely moved anything at all. So very tight range the Canadian dollar is in at the moment. It has been for around about a week now, from Tuesday, Wednesday to through. It had a spike in on the news on Friday, but it's in a very tight range, kicking along here. Probably best avoided as it is. I looked at it yesterday, and well, as soon as I said, well, it's choppy and horrible, it sort of shot up a bit, but it is choppy and horrible. It'll probably shoot down a bit now, but it is quite a mess here. So a bit of no man's land in terms of direction wise. It's just really I think it's worth waiting for the break and it show its hand a little bit more. Okay, that's pretty much it there. Let's just flick on and just check my news service for today's news. It's not been a lot out this week at all. Today, well, there's no real exception. We've got some German GDP has already been released. US inflation and retail sales are the key figures really today. That's at 1:30. So we have got a German speaker at 8 a.m. Wiedmann, the German Buber president, speaking at 8 a.m. That may create a bit of volatility. It used to, but not so much of recently. But and then the flash GDP not necessarily doing too much either for the European region. So it's really more on the inflation later and retail sales at 1:30 for the US. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.